Welcome to another Realvolve training video. My name is Mark Stepp. I am the Chief Innovation Officer here at Realvolve, and I've got some exciting things to share with you about our new template editor area. So if we go into the templates, up at the top of the screen, you click on templates and click on new template. We're going to choose author and new template and click on continue. We'll still need to put in a title. I'm just going to put in my title and a use with contacts, just telling us where we're going to use this particular template, and a subject. I'm just going to put in my subject. Obviously, you guys are going to put in whatever you want to in your title and your subject. This is just for some example stuff so I can show you what is new. Down here at the bottom, it's going to have you select the editor type. Now, the basic editor is what we had before, and it's still available. You're going to be able to use that if you've got other emails that you've already created. You can still edit them in those. The basic editor is really good for those plain text emails that you may have sent many times to a person very quickly. You just want to send it out very quickly, and that's great. The enhanced editor, which is what we're going to show here, if we click on enhanced editor, it gives you some additional capabilities whenever you're dealing with HTML. What we've done is we've really concentrated on how to make a better experience for you guys to send out HTML newsletters and other content that has lots of HTML content to it. So I'm going to scroll down here just a little bit here. You're going to see that for the most part, it's the same type of editing capabilities that you've had in the past. There are a few additional features that you have now. If we click on something, I'm just going to put in test right here. If we highlight that, you'll see that any highlighted text can be cut from the editor. It can be copied from the editor. And then there are 3 additional pasting capabilities. The normal paste is there, so you can just paste whatever content you have. It'll paste it as it is. We do have 2 alternate ones that are really good for different purposes. If you've got content that's coming from some other source, you don't necessarily want all the formatting that goes along with it. You just want the plain text to be put in there. You can use the plain text paste option, and that will paste just the words, not all the formatting, the colors, the font sizes, all that kind of stuff. And that's really good for whenever you're bringing over stuff and you want it to make it look the same as what's already in there. If you're bringing information over from a Microsoft Word file of some sort, you want to paste that in. There's some additional things that has to happen, and you'll go through a little wizard to paste the information from Word. So those are available. We have the undo and the redo buttons that are still available. Those are there. And for 99.9% of you users will be using the paragraph text direction from left to right. If you are one of our Asian users, you can use a right to left option, in which case the information is right justified, basically. We still have the ability to do the inserting of numbered lists and bullet lists, the indentation for both decrease and increase. We've added the ability to create a div container. And this is really good for creating containers of information that you're going to be putting into like an HTML newsletter of some sort that's going to hold additional objects, photos and text and stuff like that. We'll get into that in another video. Just realize that it's there. We did break out the justification into 3 separate buttons. So you have a left, center, and right justification, as well as still having our bold, italicized, underline, and strike through capabilities. The text color has changed quite a bit. We do have the ability to put in the basic colors like we had before. We do have now the more colors, so you can come in here, click on more colors, and choose from any color that's available. You also have the ability to type in a hex code for a given color that you may want. If you want to put in there E3, 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 and tab out of there, it gives you a color. In this case, it's just a certain kind of gray. But it gives you those capabilities to be able to put in other things. You can clear that out and then click on OK. In this case, I'm just going to leave it the way it is, not go anywhere. But that is both for the font color, the normal text color, and also the background color. So those are all there. We also have the ability to deal with styles. So something that we did not have before is you can create different types of styles of fonts, things like that. You can highlight that text and just highlight a specific style and it'll stay with it. The paragraph format comes in the normal by default, but you have all the normal heading options, heading 1 through 5, actually 6, some additional formatting and capabilities that are there. The fonts, we've added a few extra fonts, as well as the sizes, and you can pick all the different sizes and see what they look like. We have the ability to link to different URLs, and this is really a great option, and we'll get into it in another video probably, but it gives you the ability to do normal links, HTML links, email links, stuff like that. You also have the ability to use multiple targets, including pop-ups. So you might have some kind of HTML email that you're sending out, but you want them to be able to click on it, maybe pop up a little window. We've got some pop-up capabilities in there as well. I'll cover that in another video. We can still insert images. One of the really nice things that we've incorporated into this is the table editing. So I want to really kind of go into that a little bit, because a lot of people use tables within their system. Whenever you click on the table, it will bring up now a table properties where you can pick the number of rows and columns, what kind of width that you want, whether you want a header on the row at the very top or the first column or both. So it changes the fonts for the headers. The border sizes can be adjusted, as well as captions and summaries at the bottom. So that's some important stuff that's available. If you are inserting a table and you want it centered or left justified, make sure that you use the alignment option as well. We'll just put in a center alignment. So we're going to put in something that's got 3 rows, 2 columns, with a first row is your header, which will just make it a bold font basically, and click on insert. You'll see now that it has created that table, and within that table, if I put in heading 1 and heading 2, you'll see that those are bold compared to if I type in, and they are center justified versus left justified for just normal. So because I had chosen the headers, those are up here. Now, the nice thing that we've done with tables is the fact that you can now right-click on these and choose the table properties, make changes as you need to the individual tables. You can also highlight the cells and right-click on those cells and be able to change information on the cell itself, including the cell properties. So if I wanted to make it a certain width or a certain background color, there's lots of controls that we just did not have available in the basic editor itself. Again, the basic editor is good for creating just really quick things, but if you want some additional enhanced capabilities, the enhanced editor is definitely the way to go. You still have the ability to insert your BombBomb videos, insert attachments just like you did before. We have added a maximize option so that if you maximize this, it'll maximize your window to the maximum size of the window, as well as showing blocks. Now, this is something that's a little bit different. Whenever you have blocks showing on, you can see this little dotted line. These are your different paragraph markers, your different boxes, your div containers, those types of things. And those are useful whenever you're wanting to block things, creating flyers and stuff that have photos in them, and you want to see where those boxes are. But then you can turn them off once you've got them lined up the way you want, so it doesn't show funny on the screen. One thing that we did, which is really cool, if you're starting from scratch and you want to use a template, we've got some template capabilities so that you can pick from some very basic template items and put in the information once it's in there. So it puts in some of the basic information. I'm going to turn on those blocks so you can see what I was talking about on those blocks. You can see that there's text in different boxes. So this one's a heading 3. This is just a normal paragraph. It's all encompassed in a div window. We've got a table over there, so some abilities that's just already built in. You can turn those back off once you fill in the information. But if you're creating a flyer or creating some kind of newsletter, these are kind of helpful things that you can use to help align all the information. Now, the very last thing that is on the toolbar part that I want to share with you is the source option. And what is so important about this particular version of our enhanced editor is the ability to paste in the source of other HTML sources. So if you go to, say, MailChimp, some kind of other software that creates some very elaborate HTML layouts, you can copy that source, that HTML source. You can come into the source editor area and highlight everything that's in here, delete it out, paste in what came from that other source, whether it's MailChimp, even BombBomb. BombBomb has a great editor. You could create some additional layouts and stuff. So just to show you real quickly how you can do this within BombBomb, you can create your design using their design editor. And here's just a sample design. I've got some basic header and image. If this had a video or whatever, it could be in there. and all the information. At the top of the screen, you can click on the Save option and choose Copy to Clipboard. Now, if we come back over to the Realvolve system, we click on the source item. Now, I want to go ahead and just wipe out what's in there, and we're going to go ahead and right-click and paste. Turn off the source option, and boom, there is that same layout, same design that we were using in BombBomb system. So you can very easily, using the new editor, use virtually any layout that already exists. The other thing that we do have on here is you can enlarge the editor area. So if you want to see more of the content, you can just come here and enlarge that. And down at the bottom is the save, also the preview. So whenever you're putting in information and being able to preview straight from the screen, you have that ability. So that is the majority of what I wanted to make sure that you guys knew what the new editor allows you to do. It's really cool, really good. Again, don't get hung up with which one to use. If you're just doing basic email templates, you can continue to use the basic editor. If you want fancier layout, definitely the enhanced editor is going to give you the best control. Now, once you do this, I'm going to put test back in here, and I want to show you one extra thing. Come down here, I'm going to click on save. Whenever you have a template that is using the new editor, you'll see that it shows new in the little icon here. It's just a little icon that says new. That means it was in the new editor. If I click on something that was in the old editor, you'll see that it shows it in the old editor. It will continue to do that. But if I come back over here and I select the new, any template that uses the new, it will automatically show it in the new editor as well. I hope that clears up some of the mystery behind what the template editor does. I know we've had several people ask, why do we have that enhanced editor? And all the additional features is really why. There's some really cool capabilities and making sure that you can utilize those.